Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. It's another day in paradise here. So, we've got a couple things going today. We've got some work that needs to be done. We're going to be dodging in between thunderstorms and things like that. It's that time of year, early summer, late spring, where we get a ton of rain, ton of thunder showers in the afternoon, and 100% humidity. Welcome to Georgia. So, we're going to be dodging all that as we work. But let me show you what we're going to be doing the next couple days, and we'll bring you along. Well, as you can see, not much has changed with Ruby. She still doesn't have a bed on her yet, but we're going to be quickly correcting that in the next couple days. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add this Airlift load leveling kit. This is the 5000 Ultimate adjustable air spring set. And so we're gonna, not sponsored by them, this is the kit that I looked at. It had really good reviews. And I know a couple people that use it. So that's what we're gonna be putting on the truck. Along with the spring set, we're also gonna be putting this on. This is a wireless air compressor to help with the lowering and raising of the springs, so that as we're going down the road or putting equipment or load on the trailer, we can adjust the shot air springs without having to stop and find air somewhere. So we're going to put those on today and hopefully get all that finished up, and then we've got to go get the bed from the powder coater, and there's a couple other things we're going to be doing that we're going to be bringing you along with. So stick with us and we'll get started. So as you can see, we're cheating a little bit. Most people put these on the truck with the bed on the truck, but since we don't have the bed on the truck right now, it's going to make it a lot easier for us. And I can show you what we're doing and how this is going to go together. Now, I've done something with this that I usually don't do, and that is I've read the instructions. So that was one thing that a couple of people who have done these kits before told me, is make sure you read the instructions, because different year models, different wheel configurations, they have different setups, and you want to make sure you're using the correct one. So ours is for 06 Dodge Ram 3500 two-wheel drive. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift the frame up and get weight off of it a little. So I'm going to use my lift. I've actually chalked the front tires of the truck. We're going to pick up the back end just slightly with the lift. That'll give us a little more room to work. But the instructions say that these bump stops right here need to come off. So we're going to take these off, and then we'll start assembling the bags. Man, focus isn't working right. Sorry about that, y'all. So when you open the kit up, this is what you're going to get. The airbags themselves, mounting plates, some more mounting brackets. I believe these are for the top, but I'll have to read the directions to make sure again. Your U-bolts, mounting hardware, the air lines, and all the connectors you need to hook the air up to it, and the Schrader valve so you could actually put air in it with an air chuck, and then the rest of the mounting plates. So, neat little kit. It's all inclusive. And of course, it comes with stickers. We all love stickers. Bring me the camera real quick. Alright. Alright. So as you can see, we got the bump stops off, and we've got the first piece, this plate, in place. We've got to torque it to 37 foot-pounds, so I'm fixing to do that. Okay.
Go.
Alright, so we've got the plates in on the truck. We've got the cover shield on the bag, the first plate, and then this swivel valve put in. We've got to torque these button heads down to 20 foot-pounds. And then we'll put the bottom plate on. Whoops. Alright, man, come on. Oh, helps if you get the right socket. Let's see. Okay. Well, looks like I've got the wrong size Allen wrench to do this. Back to the store. Alright, shut it off. Alright. Now, are you filming? Okay. So now we're going to put another cover plate on the top. Actually, that'd be the bottom. And then we've got the bottom plate. We've run these two carriage bolts through, and they lock into squares down here. And let's see, I gotta remember which way these go. I believe it's that way. When in doubt, refer to the instructions. Alright, so, which I'm glad I did because I had it backwards. Alright, get that lined up. And these have a lock washer and a washer on them. We'll get those started. And the directions say that these need to stay finger tight only. When you put this in, this plate's got to be able to move back and forth. So the plate is slotted, and you want to leave these slightly loose so that you can adjust it as needed. Alright, get this one lined up. Having trouble lining everything up? There we go. Try one more time. I think I got it. Good deal. Alright. So, we got this one put together. It's ready to be installed in the truck. We'll get the other one together and then bring you back. Okay. So it's a little difficult to crawl out from under the truck and in the truck and all that, but we have our top plate that was bolted into the frame. It's connected to the plate that's on top of the bag. And you can see the hardware here and here. And then under it, there's a U-bolt. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. Sorry, yeah. Right there that goes around the shock mount. You can see it there. That pulls the bottom of the bag towards the shock and keeps it from moving left to right. Whoop. And then this bolt, carriage bolt, connects to a bracket down here, which keeps it from coming loose from the axle. It's kind of close to the brake lines. There is clearance there. They're not touching, but and this side, because of the age of my truck, it goes in between the axle and this brake line because there's a gap there. So we've got the bags in on both sides. Now we're going to start running airlines. Okay, y'all. So it's been a rough day. So let me run through what we've got. So this is the passenger side airbag, and there's the driver side. You can tell. Let me see if I can get in here. You can see how it's inflated. So they're working. I plumbed them back to Schrader valves that are in the back here. These will tie into a panel on the back side of the truck bed. So those are back there. I've got to zip tie and clean all this other up. But it also comes up to this system. And this is an onboard compressor built by Airlift. It's a wireless air compressor. And so it's got an inlet down here that'll have a filter that'll I've got to run it, and it'll be either in the cab of the truck or in the box. So so air comes in here, and then there's two lines right here, one to the driver's side, one to the passenger side, and they run out down the chassis, and that'll inflate the system. There's an app that you download, and it allows you to control the airflow on the fly. So I'm hoping that works out well. This was fairly easy to install. The airbags were actually really easy to install. We had the airbags in about 2 hours, and that's with my daughter helping me. This took a little longer. Mounting it, plumbing the air didn't take long. The electrical, because you have to go up and run basically two hot wires to the engine bay and a ground wire to the battery. Found out you can't ground this to a ground on your truck. You actually have to run it to the battery. So we did that, and we had to wire it to an ignition source. Let me walk up here. So here's my wire into my battery. We put an inline fuse in for the hot wire going back to it, and then we tied this wire into the wiring harness. It goes over here and ties in here to another inline fuse, and that senses when the ignition for the truck is cut on, and that cuts the whole system on. So right now I've got the airbags up to about 20 psi. It'll run, minimum is 5 psi, the maximum is 100 psi. So pretty good range. We can adjust it in there to keep it working. So yeah, it's in. Got to clean it up, clean the wiring up a little, and then we will be ready to move on to the next step, which is this setup. I've always wanted to be able to run power, so this connection will go to the back of the truck. It'll be in the same area where the 7-pin connector and the Schrader valves for the air will be. So we'll have this in, and then this other short section right here will run out the front and tie onto the brush guard on the front. And I'll be able to hook up battery cables off the front of the truck or off the back of the truck. And then I'm also going to wire an inverter into that so that if I want to run power tools, I can plug it into that setup and I can run power tools while I'm out in the field. So got a little bit done, excited about it. Overall, the Airlift systems are really good. They're really user friendly. When you do use the wireless systems, there's two apps. There's a wireless one and a wireless air. You got to make sure you have the correct app downloaded, otherwise it won't connect. But if you have any problems, customer service is very quick. Tech support's very easy to help, and they'll walk you through any problems you have. So really excited to see how this goes. Hope y'all enjoy it. All right, well, it's another day here on the farm and at the shop. You can see it stopped raining and got the equipment out. But not really working on any of that stuff today because something else got back. Yep. I'm pretty happy about this. That's the truck bed in its final color. I think it looks pretty good. So now the crunch time comes because we've got to get this thing put together and on the truck in 3 days. Let's see if we can get it done. First things first, let's get the wiring done. We've already started putting lights up in the headache rack. We'll have to put some running lights. I think we're putting one about there and another one here. Debating on putting a blinker in here and maybe one on the side. I'll have to see how that goes. And then we got to build the light panels, rebuild them again for back here, the license plate, and the accessory plate that's over here. So yeah, a lot of work. Let's get going. Alright, well, it looks like a rat's nest, but it's actually going to get straightened out. But I wanted to show you. So I try not to use wire nuts when I do wiring on vehicles. I don't particularly care for them. They shake loose. Splice connectors, the same thing. Vibration, corrosion, things like that. So I try to solder wiring, especially on my own stuff, because I just don't want to keep having to repair it and redo it. And then once I finish that, I come back and I put it in a, come on now, sorry, it's not wanting to focus. There it goes. I come back and I put a heat shrink on it to help prevent moisture from getting in it and causing problems. So just about done with this one. I've got that one already finished. So get this done and then we'll go up under the truck bed. See if I can do this one-handed. All right. Get my heat done. Make sure it's heated all the way around real good. And then once I'm done heating it, sorry for the shaky camera work, I come back and I just barely crimp, there you go, the ends of it, just to help kind of make it seal together. That makes a watertight seal. So I'll get all this zip tied together and cleaned up, get the panel on it, and then we'll pick the truck bed up and look at the wiring up under it. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is. Still got to put the license plate bracket and the hookups for the jumper cables and all that in. That's going to be another video. And she does need a paint job. The bed is a different color than the truck, but that's because the truck is fixing to be repainted. So unfortunately I will have to take the bed back off one more time, but sorry, she's dirty. We've already used her a little bit. As you can see, got the lights in up there, toolboxes, the trim, the bumper, tail light, set up for the fifth wheel. I'm proud of her. She looks good. I think that's going to do it for this one. We will get back with you The next step will be getting the truck ready to paint and painting it. That'll probably be another series though. Hope you're having another day in paradise. I know I am.